Every pixel in Super Mario's world hides a story, secret messages, strange patterns, and theories Nintendo never confirmed. But what if the Mushroom Kingdom isn't just a game at all, but a memory trying to wake up? Settle in, friend. Let your shoulders drop and your breath slow as the night grows soft around you. Tonight, we begin a quiet walk through a bright pixel world where bricks float, pipes hum, and stars sing in tiny beeps. This is our gentle story about 100 Super Mario conspiracy theories to fall asleep to. If you are watching in Karachi, in London, in New York, or from a small town with one streetlight, I'm glad you are here. In your heart, tell me where you're watching from and let that soft answer drift like a firefly. Breathe in easy and let it go. Before we drift into secrets, let us float back to the start. Close your eyes and picture an old screen, small and warm, with colors like candy. It is a living room long ago. A gray box hums under a heavy TV. A red cap shines on the screen. A plumber with a mustache runs over bright grass, and a block with a question mark waits above his head like a tiny gold moon. You feel the cool plastic of the gamepad and the light click of the buttons. Rain taps the window. The room is dim, and the glow from the screen paints your face. This is where the first whispers begin. People ask, who is this man who jumps so high? Is he the same as the old arcade hero who faced a giant ape? Some say yes, some say no. Some say he changed his name. Some say he changed worlds. Even the name Mushroom Kingdom feels like a signal, a code only children and the young at heart can read. In the early days, the limits of the machine shaped the look of this dream. There were few colors, few bits, and little space for sound. Because of that, every pixel had a job, and every note had a purpose. The hat was red, so it showed up. The mustache was dark, so the smile would show. Small choices felt like art, and they felt like clues. Now breathe in slow, and breathe out warm. Think of sitting cross-legged on the floor with a friend, or a big cousin, or a parent. Think of the pause screen, that small stillness that held the room in one gentle hand. When you unpaused, the world moved again. It is easy to believe that such a world might be more than a game. It might be a door, it might be a map, it might be a memory from a place just to the side of our own. Remember the first time Mario drops down a pipe. The sound is a soft slide, like wind in a hollow tube. The screen shifts, the color turns cool, blue bricks and black skies wrap around him, coins ring like tiny bells. A turtle creeps, a little cloud of pixels on its back. The shapes are simple, but the feeling is deep. Where do these pipes go? Who laid them? Why are there rooms under the ground with nothing in them except lines of coins? Some say the pipes are memory tunnels. Some say they connect dreams. Think of the first castle. Lava pops, chains sway. A drawbridge hangs above red light. It looks small now, but then it felt huge. Players felt brave when they crossed it, even though they held only a tiny gray pad. In that brave feeling, a seed of wonder grew, and with it, a quiet question. If the level is a test, who is the teacher? If the world is a maze, who is the builder? We do not need to solve these questions, we only need to walk with them. Do you remember the first time you found a secret block? You jumped under empty sky for no reason, and a new block appeared with a happy sound. It felt like the game was smiling at you. It felt like someone had left you a note in a place only you would look. This is how a theory is born. A theory is a soft guess with a warm heart. It says maybe this world is bigger than it looks. Maybe someone is talking through coins and bricks. Maybe the game knows your small habits and plays with them like a friend ducking around a corner. We will talk about many theories tonight, one by one, like counting stars. Some are tiny, like a shy Goomba behind a bush. Some are large, like a galaxy map across the sky. Some say there are many timelines, each loop making Mario a little wiser. Some say Bowser is not a monster, but a guard, keeping a door closed until we are gentle enough to enter. Some say Princess Peach can cross worlds at will, which is why she is always there before us, calm and ready. Maybe you played on a rainy day when the window fogged and the room smelled like soup. Maybe you played at a cousin's house and shared turns, one life each, laughing when someone slipped and cheering when someone reached the flag. Maybe you paused to run to the kitchen, and when you came back, your player still stood there waiting, like a friend who never leaves. These are small things, but they matter. They make the Mushroom Kingdom more than pixels. They make a game a place we can visit whenever we wish. Listen to the tiny music in your mind right now. Hear the jump, hear the coin. Hear the one-up, bright and quick. Hear the fireball pop. Let the sound stack like soft pillows under your head. In those notes, there are hints too. Some say the songs carry messages from one game to the next, a secret thread sewn into a hymn. Some say the rhythm is a key. Some say if you hum it just right, your heartbeat will slow to a steady pace, and sleep will come like a green pipe leading down into a cool cave. We began our walk tonight by asking where you are watching from. Hold that place in your mind again. See your street, or your window, or your bed. Let the edges blur. Let the light grow low. The world outside is still there, but it can wait. You are safe here in this small story with us. We stand on soft grass at the start of a level 1, and all the time in the world lies ahead. The flag is far away, but we do not rush. We take one careful step and then another. We keep breathing. We keep listening. Now my voice grows a little quieter. The words slow down. The air feels cooler, like walking into an underground room where the brick walls hold the day's chill. We will carry this calm into the next part of our journey, where we look at how tiny limits made a giant dream, and how those limits planted clues that fans would chase for years. For now, let the last line of the song fade like evening light. The screen glows gently. The controller rests, warm from your hands. The room is safe. The kingdom is near. Sleep is on the way. The room is quiet, and we lean toward the old gray console as if we could hear its tiny heart. In those early days, the machine had little space for pictures, sounds, and rules. That is why the world of Mario looks simple and clear. Bricks were square, pipes were green and smooth, clouds and bushes shared the same round shape, only painted with different colors. People still smile when they learn that little trick. It feels like a wink from the past, a soft clue hiding in plain sight, born from need. The system could only draw a certain number of sprites at once. When too many lined up in the same row, some would vanish and then return. Players called this flicker. It looked like a candle in slow wind. The flicker was not laziness. It was the system taking turns sharing space one frame at a time so our eyes believed the whole. That breathing shimmer became part of the spell. Some fans said the world itself was blinking at us, as if secrets were passing behind the screen. Sound had limits too. The console could sing with only a few voices, 2 bright tones, 1 low triangle hum, 1 soft hiss for drums, and a tiny channel that could nibble a short sample. With so little to use, the composer wrote songs that looped cleanly and matched Mario's steps. Each jump, coin, and stomp fit inside those lines of music, like birds settling on a fence. The notes were simple, yet they felt big. When the melody starts, shoulders drop, breath slows, and the room grows calm. The screen refreshed about 60 times each second, like a steady heartbeat. Each refresh repainted the world. With this careful rhythm, designers hid tricks between lines. They scrolled the top of the screen at one speed and the bottom at another to fake depth. They changed colors on the exact scan line to lift bright noon into soft evening. They reused small tiles again and again so memory would not run dry. A short list of shapes became ground, sky, stairs, banners, and the mouth of a castle. Because the cartridge had tiny space, the team packed the game like a careful suitcase. Code was folded tight. Art was stacked edge to edge. When they ran out of room, parts learned to share. A turtle shell frame could be flipped to save space. A piece of wall could double as a bridge. Enemy patterns were reused so the logic stayed light. This is why Mario feels fair and learnable. The rules are lean and repeatable. Your hands begin to trust them, and your thumbs move with calm confidence over the buttons. Glitches arose from these limits like small bubbles in a quiet pond. At the exact pixel and the exact moment, you might slip through a wall, enter a pipe in a special way, and you might arrive in a half-built room. Players found a level that looped forever and called it a minus world, a shadow that did not wish to be seen. These places were not planned, yet the machine made them from leftover rules. Thin edges let strange light creep in, and that light fed gentle theories for years. Even Mario's speed grew from the counting of the machine. The code could only add and compare so fast, so his run had fixed steps like rungs on a ladder. When you let go of the button, he slowed in tiny jumps, not a smooth slide. His leap rose in little stacks of numbers, which made the arc feel clean and honest. Your thumb learned that math without words. Because the rules were tight and clear, you could predict them, and prediction felt good. It felt safe, like a handrail in a stairwell. Power-ups were shaped by limits too. When Mario touched a mushroom and grew taller, the game had to draw a bigger hero without wasting memory. It built him from pieces, a clever puzzle of tiles. The fire flower did not just change his outfit, it changed how the system handled his hands so fireballs could appear and vanish without leaving a mark. The star flickered because the palette could only switch so fast. That flicker made the star feel hot and alive, like a sparkler in the dark, quick and bright. Levels were stitched from 8x8 tiles placed in patient rows. The team leaned on patterns our eyes love, steady bricks, even steps, and paths that rise and fall like a soft song. Curves were not real curves, only stair steps, arranged so gently that your mind rounded them smooth. These illusions made the world feel wide, though the machine knew only a few shapes. Limits did not break the spell, they focused it, the way a narrow neck focuses the sound of a flute into a clear, clean tone. Why do these limits matter for our tour of 100 Soft Mysteries? Because each limit planted a clue. If clouds and bushes share a face, maybe they are kin in the story, two moods of the same being. If flicker hides and reveals, maybe the lamp blinks on purpose. If the music loops in tidy bars, maybe the level is a song you can learn by heart. When a game must repeat, it must choose what to repeat. And choices make meaning. We feel that meaning even when no one explains it out loud. As the years passed, the same hardware learned new tricks. Designers split the screen to show a map and a world at once. They changed scroll midline to fake tall cliffs and deep valleys. They pulled rich color from a narrow palette by placing friendly tones side by side. With each trick, the small box seemed to grow. Players felt like travelers in a land with more rooms than the plan allowed. That feeling fed soft conspiracies. Perhaps there are rooms made of code fog, waiting for careful steps to find them. It is peaceful to picture this work, like watching a weaver make a long blanket with a short thread. The old system sometimes kept bits of one room in memory while it loaded the next, and those bits could carry over. A strange move in one level might change the next in an odd way. It felt like the world remembered, like it held a tiny echo of your last step. Rumors grew. The game keeps score in places we cannot see. The game watches the clock even when we look away. Truth and myth walk side by side. In the end, the limits were a gift. Small memory led to clean design. Few colors led to bold shapes. Short songs led to bright hooks. The team could not waste, so they learned to whisper with their tools, and those whispers became the stories we still tell. The borders of the hardware were like the walls of a garden. Inside the walls, the plants grew in neat lines. Outside, the wild waited. The best secrets bloomed right at the edge, where order meets surprise and patient eyes notice patterns without strain. Now the light of our tale softens even more. We leave the circuits and the counting behind and step toward first steps on the screen. With the tools set and the rules learned, a red cap bobs into view. The sky is bright. A flag moves in a gentle breeze. We are ready to watch the earliest moments, the first pipes, the first leaps, and to hear how these small beginnings grew into larger worlds. We float forward, calm and unhurried, toward those first appearances and the quiet evolution to come. The first time he stepped into view, he was small and bold, and not yet the hero with the famous name. He climbed red steel, while a giant ape tossed barrels that sounded like soft thunder. The arcade air smelled like soda and warm wires, and the joystick had a little wobble that felt alive. A quick hop cleared a gap, a ladder rang under his boots, and the crowd leaned closer without thinking. Some people thought it was only a noisy puzzle in a dim corner. Others felt a seed of wonder, a gentle tug that said this tiny jump was the start of something long. Coins clinked in the tray, and the screen glowed like a warm window in winter. And a rumor began. Maybe this man in blue would not stay a stranger for long. Soon the worker became a brother, and the stage slid underground. Green pipes rose from black water, and turtles paced left and right with sleepy patience. The floor shone like wet tile after rain, and the edges gleamed like mirrors. With one careful smack from below, a shell flipped, slid, and tapped the wall. 2 players could take turns or play together, and laughter caught like a spark. The game looked simple, but it taught a clean rhythm. Learn the pattern, touch the edge, and let timing do the work. That rhythm felt like a song you could hum with your thumbs, and each round ended with the soft pride of a trick learned and saved. Then the world widened under a bright sky. A gentle hill, a friendly block with a gold question, and a brown Goomba shuffled toward us like a slow beetle crossing a leaf. The music smiled. A mushroom slipped off a ledge and bumped into our hero, and suddenly he was taller and steadier and full of quiet power. One step, then another step, then a jump that felt like hope. People played at home now, not in a row of machines, but in living rooms, with thick rugs and heavy televisions. The controller grew warm in their hands, and eyes grew wide at the first flag sliding down the pole like a star falling in slow motion. In that simple first walk, something peaceful settled in the heart. This world could be learned, and you could grow inside it. Secrets arrived as if they had always been hiding in the light. A vine shot out of a block and climbed into the sky, thin and eager and green. Hidden rooms rang with coins like rain on tin roofs. A quiet passage opened past the flag, and a cluster of pipes offered a choice and a promise. Friends whispered on the bus about a minus world where water and walls did not agree, and about tricks that felt like doors left on the latch. Were these mistakes, or were they winks? Maybe the world was telling us that behind the neat rules there was a wide sea of strange, and we had only dipped a toe. Even the smallest secret made the air feel soft and new. Like the first night of summer, change followed, gentle as a breeze. The next tale felt like a dream, told in a different voice. Masks drifted in slow circles. Potions spilled doorways to shadow rooms. Enemies could be lifted and tossed like small sacks of rice. The colors were clay soft, the steps were rounded, and the music swayed like a slow dance in a quiet hall. Some players blinked and said this is not the same kingdom. Others smiled and said perhaps we have wandered into someone else's sleep, and borrowed their rules for a while. The hero still wore red. His courage still fit. The shape of play changed, but the heart stayed warm, and the new rhythm taught new ways to be brave. A curtain lifted, and we saw a stage. Wooden blocks cast neat shadows. Airships groaned like old trees, while cannons thumped and clouds drifted by. A leaf twirled down, and with a tail and a bright shout, the hero rose into the air. The sky opened like a new window, and the land below became a map of soft secrets. Suits told quiet stories without a word. A frog for water, a hammer for stubborn walls, a music box for a nap that made the road easier to cross. Delight spread through homes, and delight settled into memory. Whole families learned where whistles hid, and how a suit could turn a cliff into a calm step. Then we walked into a land of round hills and tall trees that leaned like friendly giants. Colors felt gentler, as if the world took a deep breath and relaxed. A green friend hatched from a spotted egg and carried the hero with a proud bounce, his tongue a quick ribbon and his feet pattering like rain. A cape caught the wind and let us skim along the edges of clouds. The world became a map with hidden doors and red dots that hinted at other paths. Ghost houses taught patience, and forests looped on purpose to show how to read the road. The feel in the hands was smooth, like drawing a line in sand with a stick, and the map itself seemed to smile when you noticed a second exit hiding in plain sight. Across these early steps, the hero changed yet remained himself. The mustache stayed, the red cap stayed, the open hands and the careful landing stayed. The ice still tricked him, the sand still slowed him, and fire still sang when it left his palm. Fans began to see patterns and draw gentle conclusions. Maybe the Turtle King was not only a monster, but a measure, a gate that checked how ready we were to move on. Maybe the princess was calm because she knew the map of time and trusted that we would arrive. Maybe the brothers remembered more than they said, and their smiles were little lanterns for the path ahead. The impact of these first steps lived in soft places. Sleepovers stretched late while children passed controllers like a warm loaf of bread. Older cousins taught tiny tricks you could not find in a book. Parents hummed the grassland tune while washing dishes and realized, with a small laugh, that the melody had become part of the house. In school halls, friends compared notes about warped pipes and secret rooms and vines that climbed into blue. In magazines, writers reached for simple words that still felt too small, because the feeling of lift and light was hard to hold. Reviews praised the fairness and the charm, but at night, after the set was turned off, people remembered the quiet most of all. The evolution was not only in how things looked, but in how they moved and taught. Early jumps were short and direct. Later jumps stretched with a soft tail, like a kite string in a mild wind. Early enemies walked simple lines. Later ones had moods you could sense, the way you sense a cat just before it leaps. Early paths ran straight. Later maps folded back on themselves like ribbon, inviting fingers to trace the curls and notice new doors. Each change taught a habit. Look up, check behind, try the wall, trust the coin line, listen for the extra note. The game became a gentle teacher that never raised its voice. Even the title screens began to feel like front porches. A press of start, a bright chord, a small shake of the logo, and we stepped inside a place that remembered us by heart. The names grew familiar, the fonts grew friendly, and the stars on the file screen felt like trophies on a quiet shelf. The hero no longer lived in a noisy mall. He lived in houses, backpacks, and dorm rooms, and inside the steady rhythm of thumbs that already knew the first steps. The welcome was simple and kind, and the kindness stayed with us when the day turned hard. Through all of this, a gentle mystery grew. Why did the same shapes return like seasons? Why did some rooms feel like echoes of rooms we loved before? Was the kingdom rebuilding itself each time we arrived, or Were we walking through layers of the same long song? Children noticed that clouds and bushes shared a face and giggled. Older fans heard a familiar tune hiding in a new place and nodded with quiet joy. Theories sprouted like mushrooms. After rain, soft and many, and each one made the world feel wider and kinder, as if the land itself was breathing while we slept. Now the light at the edge of our walk turns slow and gold. We have watched first steps become long strides. We have felt the jump become flight, the pipe become a promise, the map become a living thing that invites us to read and wander with calm eyes. Ahead waits the ground itself, the caves and bridges and sky roads, the patterns that hold the hero up and guide our hands. We will drift there next into the hush of early world design, where every brick, gap, and line of coins speaks in a soft voice about where to go and how to rest. The ground comes first, as simple as a line of bricks set by a careful hand. A soft sky rests above, blue like an old blanket. A low hill hums with small curves, and a single pipe rises like a green candle. You step forward, and the land speaks in a gentle voice. The first lesson is shape. Squares stacked to make paths, stairs, and walls. Curves are steps so tiny your eyes smooth them into arcs. The land is a small alphabet, and each tile is a letter. A line of coins spells jump. A row of blocks says think. A lone question block says try me. Even empty space joins the sentence. Color is the next lesson. Grass is bright and friendly. Underground bricks glow dark blue like cool water at dusk. Castles are deep gray with soft red underlight. When the sky turns orange, the day fades in your chest. When snow paints the world white, your thumb slows. Cave walls of teal feel heavy. Rhythm follows. The ground gives 2 steps, then a gap, then 3 more, then a tall pipe that rounds your speed. You can hear the pattern in your fingers. Goombas march in 2s, so you learn to bounce. Koopas bring shells, so you plan a sliding arc. Danger is honest. Spikes look sharp. Lava moves like red glass. Yet the world is kind. A coin floats over a safe test jump, showing the arc with a bright dot. A staircase rises before a long gap, giving height and time. Listen to 3 sounds the world loves: the jump puff, the coin chime, the stomp thud. The jump says trust me. The coin says you did it. The thud says safe now. These sounds are part of the map. When coins rise like a hill, you rise with them. When they hang in a clean line over a pit, you learn the top of your arc. Doors and pipes are commas. They break the scene so you can rest. A green pipe carries you down into a cool room where the air is still and blue. A door opens with a soft click to a hall where torches blink. These small rooms are roots under the grass. They hold coins and a view of the sky, then lift you back where the wind moves. Water levels feel like slow dreams. The ground is far below. Bubbles climb like tiny moons. Fish move in lazy lines that draw safe paths. You tap the button like counting sheep. Ghost houses are puzzles told in fog. Floors repeat, doors loop. Pictures watch with wide oval eyes. Coins point one way, then stop near a false wall at shoulder height. A tiny opening asks for quiet courage. The world whispers, look again. Hills and bridges guide speed. A long slope lets you slide and gather coins in a singing chain. A short slope meets a wall, so you flip and land where you began. Wood bridges flex with a bounce. Ropes swing in slow arcs that teach timing before cliffs grow wide. Snow shortens your step. Ice is patience. Castles shape courage. Blocks hang above lava like stones across a red river. Chains carry spiked drums that turn with stern rhythm. Fire bars sweep the room like second hands on a clock. Safe places are clear and small. You choose a square, count to 3, and move when heat passes. The world is strict but fair. Even the sky has rules. Clouds mark a path across deep blue. Bullet launchers make lanes you can read, black pipes that draw rails in the air. Paratroopers hop in loops so you can borrow their wings for a moment. The land loves mirrors. A safe pattern returns with one tile moved. The same hill appears with a pit at the bottom. A staircase that faced right now faces left. These mirrors build trust. They say you have seen this. They say you can do it again with one new thought. This is the heart of the design. Teach, twist, let go. Textures tell stories you don't read with eyes alone. Stone floors hiss like sand. Wooden planks click. Sand sinks a little, one pixel at a time. Grass gives a tiny squeak. Metal rings when a shell taps it. You do not need text to know where you are. Sometimes the world hides a smile. A row of coins curves into a heart on a high ledge. A set of blocks draws a small star, if you jump just right. A sleeping Koopa nestles near an arrow of bushes. These gentle jokes wait off the road. When you find them, the land feels like a neighbor waving. From one screen to the next, the camera keeps a steady pace. The world moves at one calm speed, and you match it like breath. All these choices, shape, color, rhythm, danger, rest, sound, texture, pace, form the early grammar of the kingdom. The goal is clear. Guide the player without a single line of text. Welcome first. Teach next. Reward soon. Surprise gently. Then repeat with one new wrinkle so the mind stays bright and the heart stays calm. When you look back, you see how the land held you the whole way. The grass said hello. The stairs said be brave. The coin said this way. The door said breathe. The castle said you can. The flag said rest. You learn to listen with your hands and read the sky. Now evening leans in and space opens beyond the horizon. The simple roads will stretch into deserts, forests, seas, and clouds, and then into stars. Soon the calm roads will welcome new colors, new heights, and gentle secrets between the clouds and quiet stars. Layers will stack, depths will widen, and maps will loop like ribbons. The design we learned in these tidy routes will bloom in larger places. We will follow that growth next, into fields that open, twist, and shine. The world grows wider, like a book opening with a soft rustle. The grasslands we learned in early days begin to stretch, rising into gentle hills and drifting down into calm valleys. The camera shows more sky. Clouds move in slow lines and shadows pool under pipes like cool water. Each step still feels safe, but the road begins to wander. Coins no longer sit in straight rows. They curve like handwriting. A mild breeze smells faintly of sea salt, and shy notes of the theme drift like a lullaby. The old tiles remain, yet they learn new tricks. Slopes invite shells to sing as they slide. Trees gather in clumps and let dots of light dapple the ground. Caves open into rooms with 2 or 3 doors. One is bright and quick. One is dim and patient. One hums with secret wind. We follow the door that matches our breath, and the level shapes itself around that choice. The world begins to feel like a friend who listens. Islands arrive, warm and blue. Water shines with tiny white edges and waves curl against the sand. We run across docks and roofs while boats rock and bells mark the hour. A jet of water turns grime into glow, and the sun sinks in oranges that soften every roof. Some say the water is a gentle test that asks us to care for the place we walk. Then we float into space, playful and kind, where planets are as small as gardens and gravity is a quiet hand. We tiptoe around round stones and drift between them like seeds. The sky is dark, yet stars twinkle with a home light. A comet draws a silver path that bends the world, and ground curves so our steps wrap around and meet themselves. We run on ceilings and smile. We hop from pebble to pebble and watch dust sparkle in the starlight, and time feels round. Back on land, the plains return with richer color. The grass shows many greens. Soil glitters with tiny pebbles. Snow floats in soft flakes and piles on rails. Sand ripples and shimmers. Volcanoes breathe in slow red, and ash hangs like thin veils. Lanterns in caves make halos that fade at the edges. New tools help the land share its secrets. Far hills drift behind close hills like whales under water. Puddles ripple with our steps, and fire warms rock to a dark orange. Midday slides into evening within a single walk. In towns, lanterns blink on one by one, and windows glow. Paths loop to earlier places and show them from a gentler angle. The map grows into a story of its own. We stroll across paper planes that fold and unfold. We lift a corner and find a path under a crease. We press a sticker on a blank wall, and a door appears where there was none. A sketch becomes a bridge, a note becomes a wind. The line between world and picture feels thin, and that thinness invites quiet theories. Then the kingdoms change again, each with its own flavor. There's a desert where the air shivers, yet ice hides in stone shade. There's a city of glass and steel where taxis honk and steam drifts from grates, yet the moon hangs low. There are meadows where hats jump like little animals, and a beach where shells glow at night. We toss a bright cap, it returns like a loyal bird, and ledges that were once walls become doors. Weather learns to listen. Wind gives a nudge when we need courage, and tugs our sleeves when it is wiser to slow. Rain tickles ponds, so coins ripple in rings. Snow muffles steps and brightens stars. Desert heat blurs a distant arch, then clears as we near. Even underground the air changes. Some caves are dry and crisp, others cool and breathing. We feel the world through texture and light before the path is clear. Enemy spaces grow into small ecosystems, not just rooms. A fort on a cliff has gulls, ropes, and tar that shines. A swamp keeps insects that draw tiny V paths above reeds. Ghosts prefer damp wallpaper and old rugs, and their houses hum in a low key. Nothing shouts. Everything suggests. The land teaches the rule of three softly, the third step adding a wink. As all this unfolds, fans notice echoes and make gentle links. A hill shape in one game returns on the horizon of another. A door with 3 bolts appears years later with 3 moons instead of keys. A star road, a rainbow road, a sky road, each one a thin line of light we cross in steady balance. Are these places remade or remembered? Some believe the kingdoms are dreams of each other. The change across time is not only wide, it is kind. The worlds do not grow sharper to punish us. They grow richer to welcome many styles of play. A child can chase butterflies of light in a meadow. An elder can stroll a plaza and listen to a band warm up. A racer can skip across rails like a stone across a lake. The same space fits all these paths. With our pace slowing, we look back at the road behind us. From squares and pipes to moons and cities, the land has opened like a flower. Each petal keeps the scent of the first field. Each new color sings with the old tune. Better tools lifted walls away, but the heart stayed simple. Bright shapes, fair rules, clear rhythms, and room to wonder. Now we turn toward the people who walk these roads and make them feel alive. The fields and planets and plazas have set the stage. The light is warm. The air is calm. In the next step, we will meet the faces who changed with the land and shaped its tone, and we will listen as their hearts learn to grow with every new horizon. In the middle of the softest world, with bright hills and quiet pipes, walks a character we've known for so long, he feels like family. His name is Mario. His red cap bobs as he runs, his overalls sway with each little step, and his mustache sits calm on his round face. He doesn't say much, just short cheers and gentle sounds, but somehow we understand everything he feels. At first, he was just a shape made of pixels, tiny blocks stacked to form a face. But something in that face felt real. Maybe it was the smile, or the way he always got back up after falling. Maybe it was how he never rushed, but always kept going. From the moment he first jumped, Mario became more than just a player's piece on the screen. He became a little guide, a small friend in a big world full of blocks and stars. As the worlds changed, so did he. Not too much, but just enough to grow with us. His face became rounder, his steps more bouncy, his arms more wide, but he was still him, the Mario from the start. His voice came gently into the games, not loud, just enough to make us smile. A quiet, let's-a go, or a happy Yahoo as he leapt into the sky. He wasn't just a jumper anymore, he was someone full of joy, someone brave, someone kind. Sometimes he saved the day with strength, sometimes with speed, but always with hope. And behind that hope was something soft, maybe even a little sadness, hidden deep in his many adventures. After all, no matter how many times he rescued Peach, she always seemed to vanish again. Yet, he never gave up. His courage became steady, like a song you can always hum when you're feeling unsure. And that steadiness helped us sleep a little easier at night. There was a time he went far into the stars. He floated in slow circles across little round planets, the sky filled with stardust and silence. There, Mario felt even smaller, like a single speck among many. Yet still, he smiled. Still, he jumped. In space, his voice echoed softly and his eyes reflected starlight. That game didn't just show a new land, it showed a new part of him. The part that wondered. The part that felt peace in the quiet. Sometimes he took care of others. He cleaned an island with a water jet. He gave hats back to their homes. He even raised baby Yoshis with fruit. Mario was never just fighting. He was often healing, helping, and mending small things. That kindness became part of his story, quiet and easy to miss, but always there. His strength didn't come from muscles. It came from patience, from learning when to wait and when to leap, from listening to the land and reading the rhythm of the level. He didn't need many words to show what mattered. He showed it by how he moved, by always showing up. Luigi stood beside him, taller and more unsure, but still full of heart. And we saw Mario look back for him. We saw him choose to stand with his brother in haunted mansions and green forests. When Luigi was scared, Mario smiled. When Mario fell, Luigi reached out. Their story became not just one of saving a kingdom, but of saving each other. And then there was Peach. She was more than the one who needed help. Over time, we saw her fly, float, fight, and even lead. But through it all, Mario always saw her not just as a goal, but as someone dear. When they stood side by side on a starry hill, saying nothing, just watching the sky, we felt the bond between them, not loud or flashy, just warm. The world gave Mario many suits, raccoon tails, fire flowers, capes, bells. Each one gave him a new way to move, but also a new way to show who he could be. Sometimes playful, sometimes noble, sometimes just silly. And each suit showed that he could change while staying true, like people do. Even in games where he barely spoke, Mario told stories. Stories about trying again, about laughing when things go wrong, about jumping high even when the platform is thin. And with each new game, he aged without aging, like a dream that always feels like childhood, no matter when you return. There was a time when we saw him nap on a field. The wind moved his hat gently, the clouds passed above. He didn't rush, he just rested. That small moment reminded us that even heroes need breaks, that it's okay to stop and breathe, that peace can be part of adventure too. Some players think there's more to Mario than we see, that his quiet eyes have seen more than he lets on, that the smile hides a long memory, that he knows the world resets again and again, yet still plays along to help us feel safe. Maybe he's not just a hero, but a guardian of something softer, a keeper of joy. As players, we each carry a version of Mario. Maybe yours is made of pixels or polygons or soft colors. Maybe he jumps on a flat plane or around spinning stars. But no matter the style, the soul stays the same. a little man with a big heart. A simple story with many layers. And now, as we sit in the gentle quiet of this bedtime journey, we can look at Mario not just as a game character, but as something calmer, something known, something steady, a part of our growing up, our resting, our wondering. He doesn't ask much from us, just a press of a button, a little attention, a little joy. His face is one of the last things many players see before sleep. A title screen, a save file, a little wave. And maybe that's why he stays with us. Because he reminds us of the first time we played, the first time we believed that a jump could reach a star. Now the sky in our story darkens, the stars peeking through. Mario stands on a soft hill, cap in hand, ready for the next level. But not just yet, for now he rests, and so can we. In the next breath, we'll meet the others, those who walk beside him, behind him, or just out of sight. Their stories are quieter still, and their secrets may be small, but they make the world feel whole, like extra notes in a lullaby, like friends who join the dream just before morning. In the quiet space just behind the red cap and bright mustache, there are others who walk beside the story, some loud, some shy, some barely seen, but all of them add something warm to the journey. Tonight, let's gently wander through those smaller corners, the places where softer voices live, the ones that don't always take the spotlight, but somehow make the world feel more alive, more kind, and more ready to dream. Toad is often the first to speak, his voice high and fast, his eyes wide with care. He waits in castles, in shops, on roadways, always ready to help. Some say he's part of a much larger group, all looking alike, like petals on the same flower. But even then, each toad seems to have a different laugh, a different way of waving, or a little tilt in the head that makes you feel he remembers you. Some fans wonder if toads are more than helpers, that maybe they are the keepers of stories, holding the shape of the kingdom in their memory, keeping it steady when no one is playing, just waiting, with patience only pixels can have. Then there's Yoshi, the green one with soft steps and a longer tongue than you'd expect. He came from an egg, quiet and ready to help. With each run, each flutter in the air, Yoshi feels like someone who gives without asking much in return. He carries Mario without complaint, even over lava, even through thick jungle air. His saddle is soft. His feet paddle gently. And when he leaps, he kicks just a little more to give you that extra float, like holding your breath at the top of a swing. Some players remember the moment they first left Yoshi behind, stepping off midair to reach a far platform. And maybe they wondered, even for just a second, if he knew, if he forgave, if he waited. The Koopas come in many colors, green, red, blue, and they wear their shells like homes. When stomped, they pull in like turtles, hiding from the world. But if you wait, they peek back out, blinking, stretching, walking again. Some theories say the Koopas aren't enemies at all, but caretakers in disguise, that their marching paths are ancient trails, drawn long before the first jump. Some fans believe the color of their shell holds meaning, that green means wanderer, red means watcher, blue means dreamer, yellow means guide. And then, in the far-off corners, Boo hovers, a ghost with a wide grin who covers his face when you look at him. He is shy in a strange way, playful but bashful. He dances when your back is turned, then freezes when you turn around. Some say he doesn't mean harm, that he's just lonely, floating through rooms where lights flicker and rugs roll up on their own. Maybe the Boos are old memories, soft ones turned into little clouds. Maybe they are echoes, giggling through the walls, waiting for company. Shy guys wear masks, hiding their faces like secrets. They march in lines, careful and quiet. Some hold spears, some carry fruit, some ride carts, and giggle through cloth mouths. Nobody knows what's beneath the mask, and yet no one seems to mind. Maybe that's the point, that we don't need to see the face to feel the role. They fill the background with color and rhythm, like drums in a soft song. You don't notice them right away, but once you do, you wonder how the game ever sounded without them. Lakitu floats above in his little cloud, tossing things with a smirk. But in other places, he holds a fishing pole with a smile. Sometimes he's a camera operator, guiding your view. Sometimes a referee, keeping the game fair. He lives in the air, always watching. Some say he's the storyteller, floating above it all. Others think he's a bit like us, the player behind the player, quietly keeping track of every coin and every step. Goombas walk the simplest path, straight ahead, slow, and steady. Their shape is small, their eyes sleepy, their brows tilted just a little. They are the first ones you meet in almost every world, and though they are easy to step on, there's something about them that feels soft, like they aren't really trying to stop you, just following a pattern written long ago. Fans have guessed that Goombas were once friends of the kingdom. Maybe they still are, deep down, just misunderstood. Then come the Lumas, those tiny star-shaped friends who twinkle when they speak. They drift through space with quiet curiosity, guiding you from planet to planet. They believe in Mario, calling him the one who will bring light. When they vanish, it is not with a scream, but a soft pop, like a star sighing into the sky. They glow with kindness. Some fans say they remember every life that has passed through the galaxy, that their little eyes have seen the end and beginning of worlds, and yet they stay cheerful, floating like fireflies. Even the animals matter, the bunnies that dart just out of reach, the birds that land on fences and fly when you pass, the penguins that slide down snowy hills, cheering as they go. They don't speak much, but their presence makes the world feel fuller. Not just a level, but a place. Not just a place, but a home. Every one of these characters, from the boldest to the most hidden, adds something gentle to the world. A little warmth, a little color, a little breath between the big moments. They fill the space around Mario not with noise, but with texture, like stitching on a blanket, like footsteps in a garden, like the soft hum of something living behind the screen. And the theories come too, floating like feathers. Some say the Toads are ancient caretakers, that the Boos were once players, that Shy Guys came from a different dream and stayed behind, that Lumas remember every wish ever made, that Goombas are acting out a story they barely understand. Each idea is gentle, not scary. Just wondering, just soft curiosity, the kind you carry with you into sleep. Now the sun begins to dip lower in our quiet story. We've met the ones who wave from the sidelines, who nod from rooftops, who wait at gates and bridges, never asking to lead, but always ready to help. Ahead lies the heart of movement itself. The jumps, the runs, the spins, the patterns we've learned by heart without ever needing a guidebook. The gameplay, the rhythm, the song made of steps and turns. But for now, we rest among the quiet ones, the kind ones, the ones who stay even after the level ends. They'll be here when we return, watching, waiting, glowing gently like coins in the grass. The quiet beauty of every Mario game lives not only in its colors, or its music, or even in its characters, it lives in how the game feels to move through. The jump, the run, the turn, the float. These are the heartbeats of the kingdom. They are soft and familiar, like the sound of footsteps on a gravel path or the swing of a door that always opens the same way. As the world unfolds, it invites us not with words but with rhythm. And that rhythm lives deep in the gameplay. It begins with a single step. Mario takes one, then another, and the world around him reacts. A Goomba walks forward, steady and slow. A block bounces up just slightly when hit. A coin spins once before vanishing into the air with a gentle chime. Every movement is small but full of care. There is nothing rushed, nothing loud. Only a soft invitation to move forward and see what comes next. The jump, more than anything else, is the most peaceful promise the game makes. When you press the button, Mario lifts off the ground with a little sound, like a bubble rising in water. The arc is smooth and gentle, and it always lands just the way it should. If you hold the button longer, he goes higher, as if trusting you to guide him through the air. If you tap it quickly, he hops like a stone skipping across a pond. Over time, your hands don't even think anymore. They just know. They feel the space between platforms, the softness of the landings, the timing of a spring. There are patterns in the jump that feel like breathing. 1-2 jump, land, 1-2 slide, hop again. The pipes, the gaps, the rows of coins, they all ask for this simple rhythm, and they reward it with calm. There is no rush to get it perfect. There's only the gentle push to try again, each time smoother than the last. Running feels light, as though the ground is soft beneath your shoes. When Mario picks up speed, his arms stretch behind him, his legs turn to blur, but nothing feels wild. It's smooth, like wind through trees. You can stop at any moment. The world will wait. But if you keep running, it opens up in front of you, placing blocks just where they need to be and coins in a path that draws your eyes ahead. The spin jump, when it arrives, is a tiny dance, a swirl of color, a moment in the air. It doesn't just get you across gaps, it makes you feel like you're part of the wind. And when the cape comes, or the wing, or the cloud, the air itself becomes a playground. You glide, you drift, you gently fall. The sky, so wide and full of light, becomes a place you can trust. There is no fear in falling, only the knowledge that another cloud will be there, or a platform, or a warm gust of air sliding down hills feels like laughter. You sit, and gravity does the rest. Coins ring out as you pass them, and enemies fall away with a soft pop. Even water has its own quiet language. Swimming is slow and peaceful. You press gently, and Mario kicks forward in small strokes. Bubbles float past, fish move in calm loops. There is no timer in your heart, only the smooth sound of waves and the soft echo of a level deep below the surface. Every move has a reason, not one of them feels sharp or cold. The long jump stretches your courage. The wall jump teaches patience. The ground pound feels like a firm press into the soil, reminding you that you are here. You have weight, you belong, and yet there is something even more special in how the world responds. When you jump just right and hit 3 blocks in a row, the sound makes a kind of song. When you stomp 2 Goombas with 1 bounce, it feels like you've tapped into a secret rhythm the game was waiting for you to find. The mechanics of the game aren't just tools. They are music. They are touch. They are connection. Fans have studied these movements for years. They've counted frames, measured distances, timed every press. But even in all that study, the wonder never fades. Because no matter how much you learn, there's still magic in the way a button press becomes a jump. A jump becomes a flight, and a flight becomes a landing on a flagpole, with music playing like a gentle cheer. Some say that Mario moves the way we wish we could move in dreams. Fast but never out of control. Light but never lost. Floating, soaring, spinning, sliding, all without fear. His body is bound by rules, but those rules are made to feel kind. The edges are soft, the mistakes are forgiven. There's always another chance, always another life, always another level to try again. The items we use add to the calm. A mushroom gives height, a fireflower gives light, a leaf gives wind. None of them shout. They arrive with a twinkle. They change us gently, and when we lose them, the world doesn't scold. It simply invites us to look again, to explore more, to find another way. Even enemies follow patterns that can be learned like lullabies. A Boo watches when you turn away. A Koopa walks back and forth, never rushing. A piranha plant rises, then sinks waiting. Each one is a small lesson in timing, And once you know their rhythm, you can move through them like a dancer through falling leaves. The joy of movement in Mario is not just in success, it's in learning the feel of the game, like learning the shape of a familiar path. It's in trusting that a jump will carry you, that a platform will meet your feet, that a vine will hold you up, even as it sways in the wind. And maybe, just maybe, these movements say something more. That, in a world full of questions and noise, there can still be a space where things make sense, where every action leads to a gentle result, where the rules are fair, the lessons are clear, and the reward is always just a little farther down the path. Now, as we breathe softly at the edge of another act, we carry that calm with us. The jump is smooth, the run is steady, the game waits, patient and kind, and ahead lies the deeper magic, where design becomes memory and memory becomes meaning, where the spaces we move through begin to whisper not just how to play, but why. Not everything in Mario's world is simple at first glance. Some things are tucked beneath the surface, soft and hidden, waiting for careful eyes to find them. These deeper parts are not louder or brighter. They're quieter, like small trails winding between tall grass, or faded footprints across soft snow. This is where the more thoughtful designs live, the ones that shape how we feel without us even noticing. They teach us without speaking. They guide us without pointing. They wrap themselves into the game like threads in a warm blanket. Think of how the levels gently prepare you. At first, one Goomba walks toward you, alone. You jump, easy. Later, 2 come at once, then 3, then a pit right after. The game never says, be careful, it just shows. Again and again, it places small steps before big ones, like learning to swim by first walking through shallow water, or learning to read by hearing the rhythm of a bedtime story. It teaches by feel. Designers build each piece with quiet care. A staircase of bricks isn't just pretty, it tells you what's coming. A pipe on a ledge isn't just a shape, it's a clue that height will help you. A coin in midair is more than a reward. It's a guide that says, jump here, try this. And all of this happens slowly, gently, with a softness that keeps your heart calm. There are no sudden changes, just small new pieces added, one at a time. A platform that moves, then one that tilts, then one that vanishes. By the time you reach the hardest parts, your hands already know what to do. The level trusts you, and in turn, you trust the level. This trust becomes part of the story, not just what Mario sees, but how he learns to move, to grow, and to stay steady even when the ground shifts. Some levels fold like puzzles. A switch opens a door, but not right away. A shadow hints at a hidden room. A sound, just a little louder than the rest, says, there's something here. These quiet signals make us pause and think, but not in a way that feels heavy. In a way that feels like wandering through a familiar place, yet noticing something new. Like spotting a trail of ants under the porch, or hearing a new bird in a tree you thought you knew by heart. There are places where gravity changes, where the sky turns into the floor, where you jump and fall up instead of down. These changes don't confuse. They open space for wonder. The world feels playful, not tricky. Surprising, not scary. And somehow, you always land where you need to be. It's like walking through a dream where the floor moves to meet your feet. Even boss fights, the biggest moments, are built with quiet lessons. A creature roars, but only after you see its pattern. A lava floor glows, but only after you've learned to jump across smaller ones. It's not about fear, it's about rhythm. A test, yes, but a gentle one. Like climbing a hill you've climbed before, but now in rain. A little harder, a little slower, but familiar. Behind all this design is something more, a quiet voice that says, you can do this. That voice is always there, in every extra block placed just near the edge. In every platform that waits a moment longer than expected, in every gentle slope that catches you after a fall. It's a kind design, a safe one that doesn't laugh when you lose, but instead offers you another try, another coin, another jump. The world doesn't punish, it nudges. Some fans believe that the game remembers, that when you play again and again, the game learns how you move, that it watches and changes just a little to meet you where you are. Maybe it's not true, but the design feels that way, like it's meeting you halfway, like it's saying, let's walk this path together. Over time, you begin to see the patterns not just in one level, but across many. A shape that showed up in an early castle returns years later in space. A coin path in the forest matches a slide in a snowy mountain. These small echoes feel like whispers from the past, as if the game is saying, you've been here before, you've grown since then, welcome back. And maybe that's the most beautiful part of all. The design remembers your growth, even if it doesn't speak. It trusts that you will see more, feel more, understand more, not because you've been told, but because you've walked the path yourself. It's like learning to ride a bike without training wheels. One day, you just don't fall. You don't even notice the moment it happened. You just keep going, steady and free. Fans talk about something called flow, a moment when your fingers move without thinking, when each jump lands, each spin sings, and you forget there's a controller in your hand. It feels like being inside the game, like dancing with it, like the world and you are moving as one. The game's design makes that flow possible. It holds your hand without squeezing. It lights your path without blinding. And it gives just enough space for your own steps to matter. And when you reach the end of a level, the flag waves, the music plays, and there's a quiet smile in your chest. Not because you won, but because everything felt right. The timing, the jumps, the land beneath your feet. It all made sense. And that sense stays with you, even after the screen fades. Now, as we gently close this part of our journey, we carry the softness of design with us. It's more than just code and shapes. It's care, it's kindness. It's a promise that someone thought about you when building this world, that someone wanted you to feel joy, to feel steady, to feel wonder, and ahead, there's sound, there's music. There are tiny melodies and quiet echoes waiting to wrap around us like a lullaby. But for now, we rest in this space of design, of soft learning, of peaceful movement. The buttons are still, the air is warm, and sleep is near. In the quiet corners of the Mario world, where green pipes hum and stars spin slowly in the sky, there's something always moving beneath the surface, soft and steady, like a heartbeat you don't notice until you stop. It's not a shape or a step. It's not a platform or a puzzle. It's sound. It's music. It's the hush of coins as they spin in the air, the gentle hop of a jump, the warm chime of a flag rising, the soft hum of a world coming to life. From the very beginning, even when the worlds were made of just a few colors and a handful of pixels, there was music. Simple tunes made from small sounds. A short melody looping like a swing on a porch. The overworld theme, light and bouncy, like walking through sun-drenched grass. The underground theme, lower, slower, like the cool stillness of a cave. And the castle theme, rising and falling, like holding your breath while waiting for something big. These songs didn't just play in the background. They shaped how everything felt. They let you know when to move fast, when to slow down, when to be careful, and when to relax. And over time, they became something more. They became part of you. A tune you could hum while waiting in line, or brushing your teeth, or watching rain tap against the window, like a memory that never fades, even if years pass. Every world had its own sound. Not just the music, but the tiny noises tucked inside. A block makes a soft thump when you hit it. A shell slides with a whisper, then taps something with a gentle click. Water bubbles and flows, its movement soft as silk. When Mario lands, there's a light bounce, like a cushion catching his fall. and when he flies, the sound lifts with him, rising like a kite catching wind. Later games added even more. In the paper worlds, every step made a soft crinkle. In the galaxy, the music swelled like an orchestra waking from sleep. Strings floated like stars. Harps twinkled like light through leaves. Choirs whispered behind you, as if the sky itself was humming your journey forward. It wasn't loud. It never had to be. It was just enough to carry you. The sound in Mario games is more than decoration. It's design. It tells stories. It paints feelings. It fills spaces that visuals never could. And always, it holds your hand gently. When you enter a ghost house, the music doesn't frighten. It tiptoes. Notes drip like water from old pipes. A piano creaks like an attic door opening just a little. You feel curious, not afraid. And when you leave, the sound lifts again, like stepping into sunlight. In grassy fields, the tunes bounce and skip like frogs across ponds. In snowy peaks, the music softens, using bells and soft strings. You can almost feel the crunch of snow underfoot, even if you're just watching a screen. And in underwater stages, everything becomes slower, dreamier. Notes stretch out like fish gliding through seaweed. You swim with the song, each stroke matching the rhythm of the water around you. Sound also teaches. When a secret is near, the music may fade slightly, leaving space for a soft twinkle, a tiny chime, a whisper. You learn to listen. You learn to notice, and in that noticing, you become part of the world. You are not just pressing buttons, you are moving through a song that is written just for you. There are even moments of silence, places where the music stops, or almost stops. Maybe the wind hums alone, maybe a clock ticks gently, maybe all you hear is Mario's soft footsteps echoing in a big empty space. These moments are not empty, they are full of feeling. They let your breath slow, they let your heart rest. They remind you that the game is not just about action, it is also about stillness. Fans remember these songs long after the level is gone. Some collect the sounds. Some play them on pianos at home. Some hum them to their children as lullabies for a new generation. That's the power of these quiet tunes. They last, they comfort. They become part of our evenings, our memories, our dreams. The composers behind these sounds put great care into each note. They used the small tools they had and made something timeless. They made music that loops forever, but never grows old. Even when the systems changed and the sounds became richer, the heart stayed the same. A steady beat, a warm melody, a feeling of joy. And when something big happens, like finding a secret, winning a race, or reaching the end, the music celebrates but never shouts. It claps for you softly. It sings with you. It reminds you that every little step mattered, that even small victories are worth dancing for. There are theories, of course. Some say certain themes across games are actually one long song, stretched out and broken into pieces. That melodies hidden in early games return in new ones, softer, quieter, but still there, like a song that remembers you, even if you don't remember it. Some say certain notes match the rhythms of sleep, that they calm the mind, that they help the heart slow down. And whether that's true or not, we feel it, don't we? We feel the peace. Now, as we reach the end of this act, the music grows slower, softer, like the last notes of a bedtime tune, the kind that plays as stars blink above rooftops, as windows glow gold in the dark, as dreams begin to form, gently and quietly. In the next part of our journey, we'll look beyond the screen, at the ways Mario's world has touched people far and wide, how the sounds, the shapes, the steps, and the stories became more than just play. They became a part of the world. But for now, we rest in this hush. We listen to the faint echo of a melody we've known forever. We let it carry us like a warm breeze through a sleepy land, and we drift onward, slowly and peacefully, toward the next gentle step. Some stories are so soft and steady, they never feel like they need to be told. They simply live with us, like a song we know by heart or the scent of rain on warm pavement. The world of Mario is one of those stories. It has passed from hand to hand, screen to screen, across years, across oceans, and across quiet living rooms, where the only sound is the soft dust press of buttons and the hush of music from a little TV speaker. What began as a tiny plumber jumping over barrels has become something that wraps around the world like a gentle dream. Children who once held controllers with small hands are now grown, and some watch as their own children take those same steps through grassy levels, through shadowy castles, through bright, starry skies. The game didn't ask for this, it didn't plan it, but that's what happened. It became something bigger than pixels and jumps. It became part of us. Across the world, in many languages and many places, Mario is known. He waves from cereal boxes and backpacks, from theme parks and toy stores. He appears in comics, on shirts, in lunchboxes, in bedtime books. And yet, no matter where he is, he always feels the same. Friendly, kind, gentle, safe. His voice is cheerful, and his smile is always the same. Not loud, not pushy, just there like a warm light in a window. He belongs to no one and everyone at once. He is not tied to one culture or one country. He belongs to laughter and curiosity and the feeling of trying again. His games are not about war or winning or even always rescuing someone. They are about movement, about joy, about solving soft puzzles and jumping in time with the music. That quiet magic travels with him from home to home, never asking for much. Just a little time, a little attention, a little heart. The songs of Mario games have been played in orchestras, their notes floating over concert halls full of listeners with eyes closed, smiling. Children wear Mario hats in parades. Teenagers hum the coin sound while walking to class. Grown-ups remember the first time they found a secret block or leapt onto a flagpole just in time. These moments live in us like little treasures we never had to bury. Even those who have never played still know the red cap, still know the sound of a jump or the name of a princess, or what happens when you eat a mushroom that glows. The story has stretched so wide that it touches places far beyond the screen. It lives in art, in music, in play. It lives in birthday cakes shaped like castles and walls painted with stars. It lives in costumes made of overalls and felt mustaches. And it lives in quiet hours when someone picks up a controller to play again, not for points, not for speed, but just for the comfort of a world they know. Some fans build whole maps by hand, recreating the game from memory. Others make music using only the game's sounds. Some draw comics where Mario and Bowser talk things out, or where toads become brave leaders, or where the Koopa King is lonely and just wants a friend. These stories, drawn with pencils or made with clicks, are part of the same dream. A dream that began with a simple idea. What if a person could go on a journey and never be afraid? Mario teaches us that it's okay to try again, that falling is part of the story, that every level ends with a flag, and every flag is followed by another level. That time doesn't run out as fast as we think. That music can carry you forward. That old castles hold new rooms. That enemies aren't always what they seem. That even the hardest stage has a rhythm you can learn, one soft jump at a time. There's something gentle about how people remember Mario. They remember not the score or the rank, but the moment they first flew with a cape, the first time they rode Yoshi, the first time they found a pipe that led to a room full of coins. These memories are small and bright. They stay because they are simple, kind, and full of wonder. In schools, Mario has been used to teach math, reading, even kindness. In hospitals, he has brought comfort to those who need joy. In libraries, he appears in books, quiet and steady. And in homes everywhere, he's part of family nights, of quiet afternoons, of rainy days when the power's still on and the game glows soft and familiar. And still, the magic endures. New games come, and they feel fresh but familiar, like a new blanket sewn from old cloth. The names may change, the places may grow, but the feeling is the same: joy, exploration, light, the kind of feeling that makes your shoulders loosen and your breath slow. This is Mario's legacy, not just in games, but in us, in how we share, in how we play, in how we pass a controller and say, "You try," in how we smile when we hear that first melody, or see that first Goomba, or catch that first power-up. And like any good story, it continues, softly, steadily, not needing to be the loudest, just happy to be there, waiting, when you're ready to play, when you need a place to go, when the world outside feels big and strange, and you just want to run and jump and feel the sky above you. Now, as we near the end of this quiet path, we don't need to say goodbye. The music plays on, far off, but still clear. The stars still spin. The coins still shine. And ahead, there are secrets still left to find, strange rooms, hidden blocks, soft mysteries that sleep beneath the game. In the final stretch of our journey, we'll visit those secrets, the ones tucked into corners, the ones whispered about late at night, the ones that remind us why we come back again and again, not just to play, but to feel wonder, to feel peace, to remember. But for now, we rest in the legacy, in the warmth of something timeless, a simple game, a lasting memory, a world made not of bricks or bits, but of joy that never fades. There are places in the Mario world where the path stops, but the wonder keeps going. You reach the end of a level, the flag falls, the music plays its soft celebration tune. But something tugs at the edge of your mind, a shadow on the wall that wasn't there before, a pipe tucked behind a tree, a coin floating just a little too high. These are the secrets, the quiet ones, the ones that don't call out to be found but wait patiently in corners, like books on the highest shelf. Some secrets are glitches, small accidents that became magic. If you jump just right, you might walk through a wall. If you push a turtle shell the right way, you might fall into a room you weren't meant to see. People call them mistakes, but they feel more like dreams half finished, like the game for a moment forgot to close a door and let you peek behind it. The minus world, as it's called, is one of those. A water level that loops forever, quiet and strange. It doesn't end. It just goes on, like a story someone started to tell but never finished. Then there are the blocks, those invisible ones hidden in empty air. You jump where nothing is, and a sound rings out. A block appears, soft and gold, floating in surprise. Sometimes it gives a vine, sometimes a one-up mushroom, sometimes nothing at all. Just the joy of finding something where you didn't expect it. These moments feel like whispers from the game itself, like it's watching, smiling, hoping you'll try something new, even when no one told you to. Easter eggs are tucked into the game like little winks, a reference to a character from another world, a picture on the wall, a name hidden in the clouds. You may pass by it 100 times before noticing it, and when you do, you don't laugh or gasp, you just smile. That quiet kind of smile, like seeing a friend in a crowd, like remembering something soft and old. These moments are for the players who listen closely, who walk slowly, who don't always rush to the flagpole. There are messages too, not written in words, but in patterns. Coins shaped like arrows, stars placed just off the main path, levels that reward the ones who look up or back or beneath. The game has always had a way of saying thank you for exploring without ever needing to speak. It rewards curiosity like a garden rewards water. The more you look, the more you find. And the more you find, the more you wonder. Some players say the world itself is alive, that the Mushroom Kingdom breathes gently and slowly, that the levels change a little when you return, that enemies seem to move differently if you take your time, that certain songs play softer on rainy days. It may not be true, but the feeling is the world feels close, like it sees you, like it remembers. People have written long lists of these secrets. Some are real, some are just stories passed from player to player like bedtime tales. Did you hear about the moon behind the mountain? The level with no enemies? The cloud that watches you from behind the trees? Even if they aren't true, they feel true. Because the Mario world has always welcomed our imagination. It's never just about what's there. It's about what might be just beyond it. And still, after all these years, after all the games and all the consoles and all the jumps, the magic remains. Not the flashy kind, the quiet kind, the kind you feel in your chest when you hear that soft coin sound, the kind that wraps around you like a blanket when the title screen music begins, the kind that stays in your heart long after the screen goes dark. Some say that Mario never truly wins, that he saves the princess, but the story loops again. The castle is still there, the danger returns, the journey repeats. But maybe that's not a sad thing. Maybe it's comforting. Maybe it's the world saying, I'll always be here, you can always come back. No matter how far we go or how old we get, the red cap, the bricks, the soft sky, they wait for us. And the best part is, we don't need to win to feel joy. We don't need to reach the end. Sometimes we just run in circles, bounce on trampolines, swim through blue waters, or chase butterflies in the grass. The game never hurries us. It never says we're doing it wrong. It just plays the music and lets us move. That's the magic that lasts. Not the levels, or the points, or even the story, but the feeling, the calm, the wonder. The idea that the world is full of tiny surprises, waiting in silence, ready to shine if we just stop and look. The feeling that no matter where we are or how loud the real world gets, we can always return to a place made of color and kindness, a place that glows softly even when the lights are off. Now the screen fades and the music grows quiet. We are near the end of our journey, but the dream does not end. It waits. The stars in the sky still spin. The hills still rise and fall. The flag waves gently in the breeze, not calling, just swaying, just reminding us it's there. Close your eyes now. Picture the field where it all began, the one with one pipe, one block, one Goomba. Listen to the breeze, hear the music, soft and far away. Imagine Mario standing still, looking out over the land. He's not in a hurry, he has time, and so do you. The secrets of this world will still be there tomorrow. The coins, the caves, the clouds, the smiles. You don't need to rush to find them. They are patient. They wait in kindness. And when you're ready, when the world feels safe and still again, they'll be there, just like always. For now, rest in the quiet. Let your thoughts drift like stars across a soft sky. Let your breath slow like Mario sinking into a cloud. You are safe. You are steady. And the kingdom waits, not with urgency, but with peace. Sleep gently now, in the warm glow of a world that never truly ends. A world where wonder lives in every brick, every note, every tiny secret tucked beneath the surface. A world made not just to play, but to dream.